When you visit the city of Sovana in southern Tuscany, you can't but help but talk about the Etruscans. Who were these mysterious peoples who inhabited the region of Tuscany long before it became famous for its olive oil and its wine? Well, there are a lot of theories as to who the Etruscans are. Some people think that they emigrated from Greece. Others think instead that they were autochthonous, that is, that they were actually from these parts since they first came into existence. But one thing we do know, a majority of what we know about the Etruscans, we know because of their funerary art and architecture. And I'm here in the necropolis of Sovana, which is one of the best preserved cities of the dead, which is what the word necropolis means, in all of Italy. And the fortunate thing about Sovana is that the entire area is made of tufa stone. So it was very easy for the Etruscans to come and carve into the stone to create their tomb monuments. And the most celebrated of all the tombs here in the necropolis of Sovana is the one that you see behind me. It's the Tomb of Hildebrand from the 3rd century before Christ. Now, it was named after Sovana's most famous citizen, Pope Gregory VII, who was Hildebrand from Sovana. But clearly, the Etruscan temple has nothing to do with the medieval pope. It was simply to honor him. And what you see up there is what is left of what we call a temple tomb. That is a monument made to look like an actual Etruscan temple on top of the actual tomb itself, which was below ground. And below that temple is the actual tomb itself. And to get to it, you have to descend what we call the dromos. The dromos was the corridor to the underworld. And so the idea essentially of descending from the world of the living, which was up top, into the world of the dead, which was down below, inside of the actual tomb proper. And here at the necropolis, you are actually given access to many of these celebrated tombs. For the Etruscans, death was not the end. It was simply the beginning. And it was the beginning of a reality that was sort of the mirror image of our own. So their tombs actually looked like their houses. And the deceased would bring with them all of their earthly belongings because they would need them in their new existence. Now today here in the Tomb of Hildebrand, all of the objects that were once present have been taken out, whether they were looted or put into archaeological museums, but you can still see what was supposed to represent the main beam or architrave of the home. You can still see the various shape which was meant to echo the world of the domestic living. And the Etruscans not only used this tufa stone to carve tombs, they literally used it to carve roads. And I'm here on the Via Cava, which was the street that they used to bring them to the necropolis outside the city. Because in the ancient Etruscan world, like in the Roman and like in the Greek, the dead amongst the dead outside and the living amongst the living instead inside of the city. And that this road was used by the Etruscans is proven by a very important inscription way up high where the Etruscan road used to be, and that is an inscription in Etruscan, this very mysterious language, one of the few Western languages which is not Indo-European, which is read right to left and we think has something to do with transformation, that is the world of the living to the world of the dead, and next to it one of the most hideous of symbols, which of course is the swastika, the way we see it today, but consider that the swastika has ancient roots and in fact was associated with sun symbolism instead. I'm in a different area of the necropolis now. And as I mentioned before, the area of the dead was very much like the area of the living. And what you see here is something that looks very much like a condominium complex. You have the more monumental tombs up above, but then down below you have the more economical chamber tombs instead. But the most important of the tombs in this area, and perhaps in the entire necropolis of Sovana, is the so-called Tomb of the Siren. And remember, Siren is just another way of saying mermaid, because if you look at that triangular tympanum there above the tomb, you're going to see a relief of a female figure with these two kind of fishy extensions coming out, holding the prow of a ship because presumably it was the sirens that caused shipwrecks, but it was the ship that brought the deceased into the underworld. And this was the first tomb to be discovered in this area, and about which much was written. It's a bit of a climb to get up here, but very much worth it. And remember to like this video and to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Rocky's Italy, so that you don't miss out on any of this great content that we're filming here deep in these Tuscan woods and publishing weekly.